All right, hello, I'm back. I'm with Dig Shake. Dig Shake, how are you?
I'm doing well, Larry. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. If somebody can give us a Dig Shake to Larry ratio, or do we both sound okay? Or, one of us sound sexier than the other, please let us know.
Well, I mean, I know I sound great, but
Absolutely. And hello to everyone in chat. Hill Home Nearm, who's getting coffee choke. I believe Lazio was
yeah,
there earlier. We got some hype here in chat.
yeah. First race of round two of the shit tournament.
Yeah, and both runners may forfeit if they don't enter this. Oh no, we got one of them in there at least right now.
That's good.
All
Has
right.
anybody told Joshy D that he needs to get into the race?
Well, being he's over the age of 14 and has done this before, I didn't think there was a need to tell him. But maybe that's just me, making up rules of life.
I don't even see him on stream right now. I see a red couch and what looks to be a fake plant, but I can't tell.
I think he just came back. I think you have to. I think you're watching. No, you're not watching on my stream. He just came back, so
Okay, yeah, there he is.
we got confirmation we can have BuzzThunder's audio. So if you like those CDs that have all those extra tracks at the end with no sound, and then all of a sudden have sound, and then there's like 34 tracks and no sound, and then more sound, you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
What CDs had that? Like, did Tool have one of those?
I think they did. I know Nine Inch Nails had one of those for sure. Um, some bands who would put like secret tracks at the beginning. Do you remember, Larry, how you could have like a pre song track where it actually counted down negative on your CD player?
I do remember that. I don't remember who did that. Joshy D is looking for Buzz in chat. Probably wants to go to his channel.
Joshy D is not aware that there's a race room open. I'm willing to bet.
Uh,
He's talking some shit though.
Possibly JSR has decided to enter the tournament. Should we talk about how we're opening this tournament up to select few more individuals next month?
Well, we should definitely be advertising that. Yeah. So if you want to enter the tournament, go to the challenge page, which is in chat. Oh, beat you
Damn
to
it!
it.
I think I typed it wrong anyway. No, I didn't.
And there's a link and instructions on there about how you can apply to be in the expansion doing next month.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and I'm definitely glad there's going to be 8 more people better at video games than I am being included. It's going to be a rough one for me this month. I'm telling everyone that right now.
Well, I think this is a good one to kind of skimp on because it's such an easy game. Like
Uh, yeah,
it's really not that difficult.
no, not at all. If you can comprehend pressing a couple buttons on a controller, you'll be all right. But I don't know if you've seen me play video games this month. I'm not too good at them. But we'll
I
see.
think
We'll see. No timers. No timers this month.
Joshy D is in chat talking about sweetgrass. Is that a performance enhancing drug? Is that something we
I
need
believe
to?
so. I believe we need to start testing people.
Yeah, that kind of behavior is frowned upon around here.
For such a PG family friendly tournament that, people can watch with their kids.
Yeah.
Probably should not have that kind of conduct happening in chat.
Show of hands, how many 4-year-olds do we have in chat right now?
Oh, Jesus Christ. They're all 4-year-olds. You ever see them type? See the things they said?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
But take us through this right now. So this is the first round of 16 Swiss rounds. Is that what's going on right here? And then we're going to narrow the field down to 1?
Just have one giant race with everybody in it, and that way we could just save time. Don't worry about the tournament at all.
I say let's just take a piece of paper, write a name down on the piece of paper, and award them the championship. Then we don't have to
Okay.
have disappointment for everybody else.
Well, I mean, Link Sevens would totally lose because I would forget to write his name down.
Wow. Why
Everybody
did,
else.
can we talk about that? Did you ever psychoanalyze that? Like, why did you forget his name?
No, I actually distinctly remember writing his name down.
Did you put
So
the
the problem,
underscore underneath it, or did you just write Link Sevens?
the, I just don't know where the paper went. That's what I'm confused about. There's a little post-it note somewhere in my house with Link 7's name on it, and I don't know where it is.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a little break here, and we're actually going to show the introduction to the opening of Wacky Races. So we'll see you on the other side.
Cool.
And now here they are, the most daredevil group of daffy drivers to ever whirl their wheels in the Wacky Races, competing for the title of the world's wackiest racer. The cars are approaching the starting line. First is the Turbo Terrific, driven by Peter Perfect. Next, Rufus Roughcut and Sawtooth in the Buzz Wagon. Maneuvering for position is the Army Surplus Special. Right behind is the Ant Hill Mob in their bulletproof bomb. And there's ingenious inventor, Pat Pending in his converter car. Oh, and here's the lovely Penelope Pitstop, the glamour gal of the gas pedal. Next, we have the Bouldermobile with the Slag Brothers, Rock and Gravel. Lurching along is the creepy Coupe with the gruesome twosome, and right on their tail is the Red Max. And there's the Arkansas Chugabug with Luke and Blubber Bear. Sneaking along last is that mean machine with those double-dealing do-batters, Dick Dastardly and his sidekick, Muttley. And even now they're up to some dirty trick, and they're off to a standing start. And why not? They've been chained to a post by Shifty Dick Dastardly, who shifts into the wrong gear. And away they go on the way out Wacky Races.
All right. Well, unbeknownst to us, the racers have just decided to start on their own. So thanks for that, guys, if you're listening on the restream. Way to go. But we are off. And Dick Shake, why don't you take us through this opening round?
Yeah, so the game is broken up into three sections. And the first section takes you through Asia, is that right? And I don't remember.
I would have to look at the map again.
There's like Asia, and then there's like North and South America, and then there's Europe, and maybe Africa. I don't remember what order they go in, but this is the first section of 3. You can play them in any order you want. It really doesn't matter. There's no benefit or disadvantage, really, to mixing up the order. I do think they get a little bit harder, though, from one to the next.
Yeah, there's no benefit, but there's certainly probably a little bit of a deterrent for doing it, whether it's you don't have enough health, because you do power up and you do get up to, 6 max heart containers you can get during the game?
Yeah, that's right. 6 heart containers by using the selection to grab that. We should talk about how all that stuff works, too.
Yeah,
actually.
So basically, for every bone you grab, the indicator on the bottom in the middle there with the heart and the dog's barking, I guess, icon, will increase by 1. There are things within that box that you can take at any time, and it resets your bone counter back to 0, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so at 1 bone, you can grab a bomb. 2 bones, you grab this bark animation that damages the enemy. 3 bones is the gliding effect that lets you hover. And 4 bones is refill of life plus heart container if you have less than 6.
Yeah. And so, I mean, bones are very plentiful, so, taking life refills is not a difficult thing to do in this game. But the floating mechanic, I feel like, is pretty critical in a few sections.
And I'm sorry if you said this before, I was checking something. All that resets at the end of the stage, not the end of a sub-stage, right?
You get to keep your floating ability and your weapon and your life, actually, through the whole game, as long as you don't die.
Oh, so when you die... Is it die? Yeah, when you die, everything gets reset? It's not when you complete a stage or complete a series of stages?
You keep the number of hearts that you had, but everything else resets. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, because I do remember watching in practice that somebody had to get the glide ability again, and then I noticed that watching other people practice that from stage to stage, they had the glide ability, so I wasn't really fully... As a guy who hasn't played this game yet, I wasn't really fully aware of how that worked, but I'm learning.
I think that's the biggest disadvantage to dying, actually, is losing the gliding ability, because there are some stages, especially not having that glide, is really dangerous, so you can start to spiral out of control.
You also want to potentially try to say, for people who want to play a little safer, you want to potentially try to set yourselves up with the bones being on the heart at the boss, or at least one off, because there's always a bone in the boss stage, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, so taking them and not taking them at a particular time is crucial, and hover, you might actually be able to hover over a bone instead of dropping into it. So again, it has another use for that.
I did not know you could walk on the ceiling like that. That is amazing.
That is something that was done in the world record run, so if he tells you that he's all blind and he had no preparation, you know he's full of bull thunder.
Well, that was Joshy D that did that.
Oh, that was Joshy D that did that? I'm sorry. Okay.
Did Buzz do it too? I
don't think Buzz. No, I don't think Buzz did. I think you're right. It was Joshy D. But even if he did,
Buzz did tell Joshy D. I got the inside scoop. Buzz told Joshy D that he'd be doing this mostly blind. So,
do we believe that? Well, if you're not going to answer, we'll leave it up to Chad. Chad, do you believe Buzz is doing this mostly blind or not? And there is Captain No Shirt going down. And we do have names. These bosses all do have names. They are all from the TV show. Boss battles did shake. There's been 2 of them, but we haven't gotten a chance to talk about them yet. They're in 2 parts.
Yep.
Any difference between the 2 parts other than a different pattern?
No, I think that's really about it. It's just different movement pattern for the second phase. Each phase, I want to say, takes 100% certain on that.
What was that, 6 or 7 or 8 hits? I didn't hear you.
I think it was 6.
6, okay.
6 hits.
I tried to count earlier while watching the world record, or whatever the world record run I found on YouTube was, and I couldn't tell because bosses like do that flashing glitch animation, and I couldn't tell when he was hitting them, or maybe he was throwing the bombs and it wasn't registering being hit. Are there invincibility frames in this game?
I think so. Yeah. You can see it's not very long, but it looks like maybe there are a few iframes. The bosses definitely, so in between phase 1 and phase 2, they aren't going to be able to hurt you at all when they're flashing.
Right. Okay. And BGT in chat is correcting us. He says that different bosses do have different health.
Interesting. Yeah, probably the biggest decision in this game, and you see both runners have made the same decision here, is whether to use the bombs or whether to use the bark.
So
the world record uses the bombs, but the TAS, interestingly, uses the bark for most of the game.
And Buzz, anytime he did play this game on stream before, when he wasn't practicing because he's never played the game before, always used the bark. And now all of a sudden he's using the bombs. Why do you think that is?
The advantage of the bomb, I think, is the explosion that lingers on screen afterwards. Throw a bomb, it starts above your head, so you can kind of use that as a defensive mechanism.
Yeah, I think you can throw the bomb in a oh crap moment and damage the enemy, like at frame 0 of the thing hitting you. Where the bark, you have to kind of line up to do it. But it's just interesting, a guy who's only used the bark is now firing out in this mostly blind run, using perfecting bomb strats here.
Yeah.
Amazing how that stuff happens. So what do we got here? Buzz is on stage B1?
Looks that way. These runners aren't too far apart, basically a boss fight apart, so still anything could happen. Some of these more difficult levels have tricky sections where if you die, that's, 5 seconds, depending on how far you were, so.
Do we have checkpoints in the game, or do you die, you go back to the beginning?
There are checkpoints, yeah. Anytime that you see them go to a new area, that's a checkpoint.
Is the boss a checkpoint, or does it bring you back to the previous area?
No, it is. Yeah, it's a checkpoint. Okay, so the first section is Europe and Africa, I think. The second section is Australia. So they're in Australia right now. That's what this stage is.
It looks like Australia.
Asia, and then the last section is North America and South America on the map. Well, yeah. So BGT bringing up a good point. You can game over, although because it's kind of hard to die, and there are lots of extra lives all over the place.
I think
Send you
Buzz
back.
just got 100 gems and got an extra life. So we were debating that before, whether gems really do anything. And I heard a little sound, little twinge in the sound, little sparkle sound. And I look up and Buzz had 3 gems. So I think he got a group of gems, went over 100, and got an extra life for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really worried about game overing. There are a couple bosses that I struggled with, but even then, I was not worried about game overing in this game.
No, it's a lot of pattern recognition on the bosses, knowing when to stand, where to stand, when to throw the bombs. Sometimes you will take a hit intentionally just to get an extra 2 bomb tosses in and 2 points of damage, you know. Because you can tank,
Yeah.
once you know the pattern, you can tank a couple, because you avoid most of them.
This boss that Buzz is on right here is kind of annoying because the strat is basically what you see there, stand in the middle and throw bombs to either side, but he moves so fast that it's hard to... He's going to be on.
World record, the world record video I watched, the guy was actually underneath in the middle, crouched down and throwing bombs.
Interesting. So taking damage too, I imagine.
Yeah, a couple points of damage, and then he used the refill in between the boss segments, and then just tanked a couple more damage. He started maybe on the top, and then got in the middle, on the lower tier in the middle at one point, just chucking bombs. But obligatory water stage here.
Yep, and Buzz switching to the bow strategy.
So the one useful, from what I've seen, from the bow to the bomb is the bow goes straight, the bomb arcs a little bit. So when you're in these tight corridors, the bomb will actually hit the top and never go out to the enemy. So he's probably opting just to have a straight-on shot so it doesn't arc and potentially he loses the projectile.
Yeah, I think you could probably just deboost straight through a lot of those enemies too if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
There are so many bones in this game that you could probably refill when necessary. This section gets a little annoying, and I don't think Buzz knows this, because see how he's moving so slowly? If you hold down the A button, you actually swim faster.
And we can see Joshy D gaining some ground here, because he looks like he is holding the button.
Yeah.
But Buzz
So that's
is at least...
interesting.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just think it's interesting that that actually indicates that maybe this is somewhat blind on Buzz's part. I'm not sure.
Now this
it's a pretty
being
necessary strategy to get through.
Now, this being a tournament that we take seriously in terms of holding the tournament, but don't really hold any, sort of credibility to performing. Well, some of us do. Do you think Buzz is doing this race blind against Joshy D just because Buzz thinks it's Joshy D and it doesn't matter?
I'm sure there's probably some gamesmanship involved, sure. I don't know. And Joshy D, as much as I love the guy, he did not perform particularly well with the last round of the tournament, so...
No, and they gave each other the business on one of the races they commentated with each other during the last tournament. So I believe in Buzz's mind this is a rivalry, and you know how he gets with those.
Yeah. Joshy D gained on Buzz, though, just from holding down the A button.
Yeah, and you can see Joshy D, when he was throwing those bombs, they were hitting the top of the wall and not hitting the enemy, so he had to move a little bit lower.
Yeah, but just deboost through there, especially with this boss. This boss is not difficult at all. I actually consider this to probably be one of the easier bosses in the game. Also kind of annoying, though, because you see that he kind of floats up there in the middle and you can't hit him.
Yeah.
When he's up there.
So Joshy D is just basically half a boss cycle, half a boss round, whatever you want to call it, boss fight away from BuzzThunder at this point. I think that's a little bit of a gain from where he was last stage, at the end of last stage.
We're still pretty close. I mean, death in the wrong spot in this race is even, or maybe even a lead change.
The game does... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just trying to figure out what this pink candy level is. That's supposed to be Japan?
It's probably Colombia. They have all
on
that
the
sugar.
map. It looks like it's Japan.
Oh.
I've never been to Japan. I can't vouch for whether they have giant lollipops and such.
I'm pretty sure in the 90s they did.
Yeah. Bow tie clouds.
I was going to say that there is a stage timer on the bottom of the screen for us to reference when people do and don't make up time, but it does reset on every checkpoint. So it doesn't really, you can't say he goes into the boss at this time and get a whole accurate representation on the whole stage, which is kind of stinks from this point of view, but it's nice that they give you a full timer for the next stage or part of the stage.
Yeah, so this is one of the trickiest parts. Joshy D. But that is very unfortunate.
Death number one?
That was the first death, yeah, and that was pretty far along the stage as well. So he lost a lot of time with that death, unfortunately.
I don't know, does he have to be on a top path here to get across? Because it looked like he could have made a jump, but some things in this game I know appear like they're walls or appear like there's something you can jump on, and you can't. Oh, so you have to make that jump and not get hit by that enemy, I guess.
Yeah, you can try to throw a bomb in the air. Wait 2 seconds and take the enemy out before making the jump. And see, Josh doesn't have the floating ability right now, so you can see him taking this section a little bit more cautiously as well.
Yes, because he did die and he did lose that like we were referencing before.
I think so the part that he did die on is a tricky section. I think the safer strat is actually to make sure that you pull and don't skip it. Yeah, land on the... Oh, well. Okay. But if you land on that first pole, you...
Are you watching from the multi-switch or from my channel?
Out. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching from your channel.
Okay, yeah, because you're like 20 seconds behind. So two of the trickier levels I've seen in this game are the things Joshy's doing, and whatever stage has the whale that jumps out of it. Basically, any stage where you're jumping as an enemy is coming at you from off screen seems to be the worst part of this game, because you have to try to, like Ninja Gaiden, you got to try to kill it while you're midair. Or, you know, maybe try to make it spawn. Do enemies respawn in this game if you scroll the screen back and then scroll it back in the other direction?
I think they do, yeah. You do need to be careful of that. Yeah, Buzz on the cloud stage right now where you're forced to bounce around.
So no auto-scroller in this game, but we have an auto-jumper.
Yep, auto-jumper. Joshy D making it past the section that was getting in trouble, so... And you can see the checkpoints, like, right there. That's about as close as it's gonna get to Cliffs of Insanity for this game.
Basically, all your boss fights are the same, except for the environment that you're allowed to stand or not stand on. Just, they go from side to side in some random pattern, and just find a place... Throw bombs, dodge them, throw bombs again.
Yeah, this one kind of sucks because of the ice physics. I personally don't like.
Oh, so that cloud is ice physics as well? That's like a sheet of ice up there? Okay.
And the first part of that level is ice physics too. Buzz is onto the final continent, so this is... I don't know where exactly this is. North America, I think.
This looks like Nuketown.
Nuketown from it's from
Black Ops. Call of Duty Black Ops, I think.
I don't know what game that's from.
Yeah.
It's got very large angry pigs because wandering around. I think this is supposed to be New York City, actually. With the sleeping cats on the rooftops, because that's what New York City is, and the large rabbits on pogo sticks.
I can confirm that.
Joshy D, I think, is a full level behind now.
Almost a level and a half.
So after, it's the one with the, is it the ant people? I forgot what they're called.
The Anthill Gang, the mob,
Yeah.
Anthill mob, yeah. So I thought that was a family at one time until I started watching, you know, the lore of the TV show. I thought it was just like mom, son, like mom, husband, and all the kids in the front seat. But it's they're gangsters.
Yep.
Yeah. But in the video game, they have them all in different kind of seats.
Kind of looks like a paddy wagon almost, but
It does, and it reminded me. For some reason, I thought it was like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Because that was you know, that was an old Disney like family movie, and I just remembered all the people piled into the car. But yeah, I was surprised to know they were all adults and all mobsters, and they were all like to sit in the front seat.
small adults, right?
Yes.
They're ants. So Buzz will be moving on to the Wild West, I believe.
It's probably Arkansas because the bus is the car is the Arkansas something. So this is probably the South and not the. I mean, it looks like the West, but the person at the end of the level is driving the Arkansas Chugabug or something like that.
Yeah, that is true. I don't think they have a lot of cactus in Arkansas, though.
We don't know. We have one person in chat that's from Arkansas, so maybe they can confirm. Pretty sure there's a lot of cacti in Arkansas.
Big purple armadillos. Let's see how well Buzz knows this. Yeah, you can just jump right over those rocks. First time you play, you see people wait on those rocks and like hide and stuff.
So you're saying this is not his first time playing?
I highly doubt it.
Okay.
I mean,
Fun.
you can see on his screen his PB is listed as a 2816, although he's gonna crush that on this race. It looks like he's 3 minutes ahead right now.
Chad is saying I'm absolutely correct. There's tons of cactus in Arkansas.
Oh, really?
Yes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. So Buzz makes it
That's
through
the-
Hype Cave, and he gets back to the Arkansas Chugabug.
That's a big bear on the back of the car, right?
Yes. I don't know if he has a name. One thing about Hanna-Barbera is they like to recycle their cartoon sprites. And you can see that with like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo and whatever Alexander from Josie and the Pussycats. A lot of their characters look the same, and then they're just called different names, like Dastardly and Muttley from this game, or two different, same kind of animation in Laugh Olympics, but different names and such like that. So it's pretty fun. Hanna-Barbera is actually pretty funny that way. Penelope Pitstop looks a lot like Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
So here's the last stage, South America for Buzz. Oh, Joshy D taking another death. This stage actually is pretty difficult. I hate those purple birds. They just get in the way. I guess everything else isn't too bad, but those purple birds.
I mean, as an outsider, to be fair, looking into this, doesn't seem like from stage to stage there's that much of a difference, except for maybe the water stage and the ice stage and the auto jump stage. Everything else is traditional. There's stuff on the ground, there's spots to jump on, and there's enemies to hit with bombs.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I mean, some stages are harder than others, but it's not like there's a huge difficulty spike anywhere, really.
And to remind people, just because we're running this game in this tournament doesn't mean the game's garbage. We like to run games that other people don't.
Yeah, although this game I think has a small but dedicated following.
It certainly had more people racing it on SRL than roller games ever did.
Yeah. I personally think it's a good game. It's definitely on the easier side, but that doesn't necessarily make it a bad game.
Yeah, and it came out at the end of the Nintendo life cycle. So you know those games are seldom played, and you know they also go for like $300 on eBay.
Yeah, good luck getting a copy of this cart. You can buy a repro. The real deal is going to cost you.
And here's our last boss, who I incorrectly referred to as Captain Caveman and Son. It's neither Captain Caveman nor Son. But that's Hanna-Barbera again, just recycling images.
Yeah, and don't blink because there's no special ending or anything really. It's just once you beat the last boss, that's it. That's the end of the game. And that's going to do it for Buzz.
When do you officially hit the timer?
You know, that's a good question. I am not sure when you're supposed to hit the timer. I hit the timer as soon as I get the last hit on the boss, but I could be wrong about when you're supposed to hit the timer.
Because I was watching the world record run, and the guy's timer was starting and counting down before like the Wacky Races title screen was even off. So I guess you hit it on the first start press, and then I guess you hit it on the end of. I guess you lose control of Muttley when the boss dies. So just like Dark Link, I guess you hit it on the losing control.
Right.
Choke points out that BuzzThunder ran a 24:30 blind.
One of the better times I've seen so far.
So
I mean,
John,
my
my
PB is at 24:08, so
you're better than him.
I openly practice this game, so. Although, to be fair, like, anybody who plays this game at the 24:30, like, not even kidding. Except for maybe Joshy D.
I was going to say, Joshy D is not at 24:30 right now. What do you think about that?
Well, Joshy D doesn't use a timer. I don't know.
Good evening, fellas.
Hey,
Hello.
Buzz.
Good game.
What's happening? Thanks, thank you very much for what you could see of it. Right?
I actually thought it was pretty fun.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad it wasn't terrible.
I had jokes prepared, but I wasn't able to use any of them. I'll save them.
I was actually just waiting. I'm like, you know what? I was gonna record it, just be like, so I can upload it if anybody says anything. But I was like, no, I think it'd be funnier if it dropped out like right at the end again.
Who would say anything? I don't know anybody who would do that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I was fully expecting that kind of thing, but.
So chat wants to know, why did you switch from the bow strats to the bomb strats?
I don't know what you mean.
You used to use the bow, and now you use the bomb.
I used to use the bow. Well, I used it on my first playthrough. And then I saw everybody else using the bomb, so I tried it out, and I don't know, bombs are fine. They're the same as bow. They're just better for the bosses. I think that's why all the speedrunners use them. Just because they don't disappear right away. They kind of deteriorate.
Yeah.
Gives you that extra time. But really, yeah, that was honestly, I know there are more jokes to come, but that was my third playthrough of this game from start to finish. Other than I did like a short test, like I played like halfway through it one time, but other than that. So, my second playthrough using just the bombs right there.
Joshy D in chat has a question. He says, "Pretty blind, ah?"
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, but well, it is really. I mean, only a couple playthroughs. I really, I did not practice this nearly as much as roller games, and I think it shows. I'm sure you could tell in my run. I mean, I was taking a lot of damage. Basically, my strategy for this run was, I think if I just don't die, and I made sure that I had the correct amount of bones for every boss, so that I have that little buffer That was really my main strategy. I just wanted to get through it okay.
I can't believe it's taken 28 minutes, but wanting to have enough bones so you have a little buffer. Title your sex tape.
Oh wow.
Well, I forgot about that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 28 minutes it took for me to go there. But
very good.
One thing you should know, Buzz, is that on the swimming stage, if you hold down the A button, you'll actually swim faster.
Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. 100% true. Joshy D gained a lot of ground on you on that stage.
I'm not sure if I believe you or not.
When you do it, you have to put your hands in the air really high and yell Yahtzee and shake them as fast as you can too.
All right. Apparently I have no idea what's going on.
Well, you give that a try. You get back to me on that one.
Okay, I will.
He's not gonna do it.
For a championship race.
Dick Shake, have you ever did you try back on your wife's shoe after I made you try it on yesterday or no? I don't know why I just thought of that, but
he never took it off.
I usually only try to do that stuff off stream. So yesterday was kind of a coming out party for me in terms of women's footwear.
I was about to tell Buzz, be like, wear a hat on your head so we know it's you when you're doing it. And then I'm like, well, wait a second. No, put a shoe on your head. Like, I made a guy do that. Who did I make do? Oh, yeah, that's right. I made Dick Shake do it.
I did not put the shoe on my head.
No, I wanted you to. But chat was like, lick it. And I'm like, that's too far. And then we stopped that.
That wouldn't have been funny.
Yeah, it got weird very quickly. That's for sure. How's Josh doing?
He's at Captain Caveman and Son right now.
Okay, that's the final boss, correct?
Yes.
Depending on the path that you take.
Oh, we did not touch upon that. Dig Shake found out you can take alternating paths by selecting the wrong area.
Yeah, I remember I saw him do that on his first
BGT
playthrough.
pioneered that strategy, not me.
I think Choke pioneered the selecting the wrong thing from the menu and restarting the game, though, to be fair to PGT.
Yeah, Choke's the pro when it comes to menu snafus.
Because he did it once?
He did it twice.
Oh, did he?
Back-to-back races.
I think did he do it twice? I thought he did it once and Coach Crab did it once.
He did it in both races. Go back and take a look. That's one of my favorite VODs from the last tournament, too. The Choke doubleheader.
And Joshy D is now done. I don't know if he's made his way over to... yes, he has. It's second place with a time of 31 flat, which is really... it sets the bar for other people, like Choke Me I Like It and Angry Larry, to try to be below the Joshy D line right now. And we're going to make that a thing.
Yeah, I mean...
That's the main goal. You don't want to beat the better time. You just want to get a little bit better than the worst time.
Well, as of right now, that's the slowest time in the tournament out of two people. And BGT has said he had he said it's somewhere 27-23, so we can't rag on him for this game. But there's plenty of opportunity to do that in other games or later on in this tournament for sure.
27-23, not bad. Does anybody else have numbers? Because I really haven't seen much streams of this. I didn't know where I sat in regards to other people.
Link 7's played the other day. I didn't catch a time on it, though, because I was watching through the now following screen while I was doing something else on the computer. And Coach Crab was also streaming it sometime earlier in the week, but he told me he didn't have a lot of time to practice it the way he was doing roller games because he's busy.
Right.
And then I don't really know. And Dick Shake is the only other person I think I've seen playing it.
Yeah.
Choke is a Spelunky guy now, so...
That was great stuff. Oh, man. I got to show you that, yeah, there were 3 really good clips from that.
I grabbed the clip today. I gotta share it with you.
Good.
Yeah, it was a good one. But yeah, so here we are. BuzzThunder is 1-0. Joshy D is 0-1, and this is in the Scooby Doobies, I believe, bracket.
Yeah, that's right. We're the Doobie Brothers, man.
Coach Crab and Angry Larry, myself, are the other two who are in who are in the tournament. Joshy D gets up and almost knocks over the fake plant tree.
Is that fake? I never asked him.
I think it's
was
real.
wondering
I think you can
if
see
it
the
was
edge of the leaves are dying.
Maybe he'll come into Discord and we can ask him.
I hope
Josh
he
does not seem like a fake plant kind of guy to me, though.
No, I
I don't know
was
what that. I don't know what that means, but I would be very surprised if that plant was fake.
Look real to me. Do we have any other tournament matches scheduled at all?
Oh, I need to submit mine. BGT and I think agreed on tomorrow night.
Oh, really? On a Tuesday, Dig Shake?
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
man.
I see how it is.
Offered up Wednesday, but BGT said he had a thing on Wednesday, and so the only other night that worked was Tuesday. But it'll be before you get home, Buzz, so we can still do.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Honestly, yeah, I would like. I don't know. I've been doing Bubble Bobble before Zelda 2 races start, and I'm able to get halfway through it with the amount of discussion about flags that happen. But I'm really enjoying that game. I would love to do that one again.
And Kyle in chat also says Tuesday is Rocket League Day, and then he posted 5 Ewok heads to spam the chat.
Only 5?
Bubble Bobble or
Only,
something.
well, because he's mad at you, so only 5. You only get 5.
Yeah.
I forget what time I agreed on with BGT.
BGT's in chat. Maybe we should ask him. BGT, what time? And by the way, BuzzThunder 1-0, getting closer to the winners bracket and the eventual championship game. Anything on the horizon in your mind about something you may want to play for next month?
More of these games?
Oh,
I don't know, man. Next month's gonna be rough. I don't know.
Would you stick to the trend we have in doing a game based on a TV show?
Yeah.
Makes for great openings.
Not really. I still was disappointed that nobody asked for Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu, because that was what I wanted to get nominated and vote for. So that's still probably my number 1 pick. But I don't really know of any games. I have to look at my list here. I still have my list of all the ones that I did.
Well, is Wheel of Fortune featuring Vanna White?
I don't know. Can we? That seems like that's too much RNG.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Hello.
All right.
Hi.
That's Joshy D, ladies and gentlemen. Joshy D, congratulations on a pretty good time. I'm going to honestly say that's going to be better than anything I can pull off this week. So
that's why I wanted to fight you today.
well, unfortunately, I spent 5.5 hours redoing this pretty sweet layout we got going here because OBS decided not to save it. But
it looks really good. It makes me really wish that you could select all these characters and then we could keep track of who was using which character. Look at all those guys.
A lot of them, and they move too. They're animated when you don't beat them.
Oh, it's so sick.
I know it is. It's putting
You
my.
know, Can I talk about what I did?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, sure.
I felt pretty good overall, except there was like one stage where I took like a really expensive death and then like 2 more deaths, like trying to recover from it.
It was the stage after the water stage, because in the water stage you gained ground on Buzz, and you were only behind by like half the boss battle. At that point in time, he finished the boss battle when you were in the transition, because you were doing the water stage by holding the button, and Buzz didn't know you had to do that.
Oh, okay.
So you were speeding through while he was just chugging along at normal speed, and then you got to that Candyland stage, and just took I think 2 deaths, I believe.
Yeah, I took 2 deaths, and it's the thing that that people might not realize is that since you have to kind of Gradius style build your power-ups back, it makes it easier to take another death, because you're having to use all your power-ups to get the good weapon, to get the feather. And then, maybe you take a life refill and you're just doing more difficult jumps or attacking with the wrong kind of weapon or just stressed out. And it really makes it easy to let one death turn into a couple deaths. But if everything's going smooth, like the game really isn't that difficult. It's just it can become troublesome if you lose your power-ups, I think. And the bosses are, you got to learn how to fight. I don't know how to fight them. I was taking a long time on a lot of them.
I think with the checkpoints in play as well, taking a death and losing those early bones on the earlier stages to take the bomb and the glide and all that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you don't have
just
enough
have less bombs or less bones available.
Yeah, so if you want to build it up again for an extra heart, if you don't have all your full hearts, or for the safety in the boss fight, you don't have that opportunity to do all three. So you're probably going into that boss fight without the health assurance. If you want the well, obviously you're taking the bomb, and then you want the glide on top of that. That's one. That'd be like 5 total bones, and then you have to find 4 more bones, I think, for the health.
Yeah, man, having that health refill in a boss fight is so cool. And I think if people are watching and haven't played this game, like the feather, when you mash the button to glide, and the bomb, I think, are just so much fun. Like, this game is just overall so much more fun to play, I think, than roller games, because those two things are really fun. And wait, Buzz, did you use the bark? I think, weren't you saying that you were going to use the bark attack?
Yeah, but that was before I knew anything about the game. But I only did I only did that on the water level. But is that true what he said? Holding A makes you swim faster? Is that a real thing?
Totally, yeah. If you just hold it down the whole time, so you have to claw grip that stage.
Apologize,
Well,
Dick Shake.
I could knock like 30 points, 30 seconds off my time then, probably.
It really helps. Yeah, it really does.
Apologize to Dick Shake right now.
I had no idea.
Buzz trusts Joshy D more than he trusts me. You heard it here first.
Oh, man.
Well, that was the first time I heard it, and when Larry said it to Josh, he's like, "Oh yeah." It seemed like it was legit. That
halfway
time.
through saying that, I'm like, "Oh man, now he's going to realize it's right, and he's going to start doing it."
Yeah, and I really wasn't trying to take advantage of anyone not having a whole lot of practice. I know this is the first of the tournament matches, but I just know like this month it's going to get busier for me, so I was trying to knock them out.
Actually, when you asked, I felt more bad than anything. I'm like, oh man, like it would have been a perfect opportunity to do it, but I don't even know if I have the ROM to do it at this point. I'm sure someone would have just sold it to me. I guess if anybody's listening out there, I would have bought it from legal ways. But,
absolutely, yeah. No, I definitely own a real cart of this because I'm a millionaire.
Yeah, we were talking about how the game was made after 1990, and therefore the cart's worth $300 on eBay.
Yeah, except things like Star Tropics 2, which came out like really late, and there's just a million of those. Like someone found a warehouse of those sealed, and they're all available.
Well, apparently there's like a warehouse. Somebody has like 3 sealed cases of stadium events as well, but they're holding it because there's a market on it. So they're, instead of just like, selling them for whatever, he's just holding it, and like one day he'll sell one for $10,000 or whatever.
I hate the prices of NES games, which is why like I only ever give away or sell for dirt cheap, like $5 games, because I refuse to put anything on eBay and watch it go for that much dough. It's just infuriating.
Joshy D, the world needs to know, is that a real plant next to you on stream?
Well, we water it all the time, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dick Shake insulted it, saying it was he only sees a fake plant and a couch before you started the race. So Dick Shake, apologize.
Yeah, well, and there's really the Venus de Milo back there as well. Like
The plant is the dominating factor. I mean, the plant takes up more space on your stream than you do. So,
and I just want to point out, on Sunday I got crap for pointing out things in his house, and now he's pointing out things on your stream.
Well, no, I mean, Dig Shake has all this like mid-century furniture. He's going like out antiquing every weekend and picking up all this nice stuff.
Yeah, we just bought a house and we had to fill it with stuff. So
I want to see that middle drawer though.
No, that's great. Well, so I mean, really, all it was is like I didn't want to move the couch to like a different angle, and there's a giant like mirrored window behind me, so I have to like point the camera towards the corner in order to just not have tons of reflection. So that's why there's so much plant.
Seems like every time I watch your stream, there's a different angle.
Yeah, well, it's because I'm streaming out of my office right now, so I have to just I have to take it down every time and then put it back together.
Oh, okay.
So the angle's never the same.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah, well, I can't stream from home either. So like, if that's why like I can never get in on these like late night races because I still got to drive home. But hey, this was fun. I hope this was a good first match. It seemed like it was competitive at least until I started taking a bunch of deaths. So that's good. No one wants to see a blowout, I don't think.
No, I don't think we're going to see many blowouts in this tournament. I think we're going to see some close races, actually, especially towards the end. So,
Yeah,
just the nature of the game. Like, where's the cliffs of insanity in this game?
Exactly. There's nothing that can cost you that much time. I mean, you could fall in a pit like late in a level, but there's, like in most circumstances, like there's nothing that's like none of those jumps where you might fall in a pit are actually that hard. You have to like really blow it to get hit by something. It's not like the cliffs that are just really execution heavy or the damn rafts.
Yeah, it's really. I would just say doing at the candy level for sure. Like that early jump where the first. There's like 3 of those dragonfly things. Those are the dangerous ones because you're over a pit.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's not really a lot of things that'll, unless you let yourself get damaged to death, but there's so many bones lying around that's really not an issue.
Yeah, chances are, like, if you take a damage death, it's just because you were, like, hoarding the bones, like, hoping to get a refill on the boss, and then just, we just got too greedy with it.
Yeah, or at the beginning of my run, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but my upgrade to the feather, I actually hit start instead, and then instead of select, and it completely threw me off, and I took a bunch of damage and like had to go backwards.
It can happen. Like I almost totally died because I thought that I'd selected the feather and I hadn't, and then like took a really bad angle on something because I was mashing. Yeah, I'm glad people are liking this game. I think this game is really good. I voted for it even though I nominated a different game just because it felt better for the tournament format. I like that it's it's pretty simple, and it'll just be like easier to learn. I wish I wish there was more variety in like the weapons. Like if both the weapons were really good, or if there was like multiple characters, like I think that's what would make a really good nomination for this tournament. Like a game where there was a bunch of different viable characters, or not a bunch of, like, most NES games only have 2 or 3, but just more things to kind of make everyone's strats a bit different.
I think one of the original intentions of this game, just seeing the mechanics and everything, is the bomb has an arc, the bow has the bow has a straight attack. Mm-hmm. So I think there was supposed to be strategy in play on certain stages where you shouldn't be able to use the bomb because of the low overhang, and that a straight up attack would be beneficial to you. But everything dies in one hit anyway, so I don't know really why there was that. Other than that, I can't see why there would be a choice of 2 different weapons, except maybe. No, I don't know, and I don't even know why the bow is number 2 and the bomb is like only 1 bone.
Yeah, I mean, the bow, like, it takes a little while for it to get going, so like you have to like bark and then it starts shooting out. And definitely in the water stage, I would have had an easier time if I didn't have the arc because of those, the kind of tunnels you go through. But it's never worth like taking a death to change your weapon, or I guess you wouldn't have to. You just have to cycle it all the way back through. Yeah, I don't know. It's I wish there was a little bit more incentive to switch it up, just so we could see people like doing different strats. But other than that, I think this game's rad.
It was a good race, and I thank everyone for joining us. I think we're going to wrap it up here. And tomorrow, what time, Dig Shake?
It'll be at 11:30 Eastern time, and I think that Link and BGT were talking about racing right after that, so we might have a doubleheader on our hands.
Oh, that's so sick.
So, all right. So we'll see everyone then. Buzz, good game. Joshy D, good job.
Yeah, GG's.
As well. And Dig Shake, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, guys, that wraps it up here. Again, tomorrow night, and whatever time Dig Shake said. I forgot already. But please make sure you do follow the runners, and make sure you take a look at the tournament webpage. And remember, we are accepting applications for next month. We don't know what game we're running yet because that relies on who wins this game and the nomination and the voting process and all that. But it'll be fun. It'll definitely be worthy of the second Hopeless Invitational Tournament. So on behalf of Dig Shake, I'll see you guys tomorrow night.